What up, my freaks? Ruinous Insight here with part 3 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Grimgor campaign. So as we saw last time, though it was hard fought and hard won, we were able to destroy the forces of Hag Grief. Malice fell in battle, though it was certainly difficult, and then we took Ness, and we'll follow up to take Naganath and destroy the faction for good within the next few turns, after which point we will be able to turn towards either Yuanbo or towards the lizards here as needed, and hopefully complete our conquest of Albion, and before using it as a base to reach wherever it is we want to go. Should be a fun time. We were also able to advance a few turns forward and allow ourselves to tech up a little bit, which will mean hopefully by the time we leave Albion, we'll have a few fancier troops. Just gotta make sure we fix up our money situation in order to be able to field them. Before we get started this time around, we were able to reach the engagement threshold, and thus this episode will be an hour long, and similarly for the next episode, if we reach, let's say, 400 likes and 50 comments, then the next episode will be an hour long as well. Anyway, Grimgor, you did level up, and we're going to do a little bit in the way of leveling. I was going to go for vitamin shrooms here, but I think, despite the tremendous cost of losing 5 melee defense for everybody in the army, 25 campaign movement range is just too good to pass up. Grimgor is now at only 34 melee defense, so yeah. Oh, we're gonna have to be careful about that. But anyway, I think that it'll still be worth our time. 25 movement range on this map in particular, on the old world map, is just plain necessary. Now, we have gotten Smash 'em Fasta for Mr. Scram, so I think we tried to move towards Get 'em Boys, which also reduces our melee defense. We could get Respect to Boss instead, which gives us an increase to melee defense instead. And the only unfortunate aspect of that is that this is really more supporty stuff, whereas this stuff is increasing the power of Scram, so I still gotta go with this one. Wait, after we get back on your feet, though. Yeah, okay, yeah, we need to get back on your feet. And, oh, there's actually some decent stuff here. Cooldown reduction for Deadly Onslaught. Vigor loss reduction minus 20% for all Orc units. Oh, that's fascinating, and quite nice for SFO in particular. Yeah, this will certainly be a reason to get several of these Black Orc Big Boss units, because if we can get close to perfect vigor on Black Orcs, that'll make them all that much nastier. Also, Spite, let's move you in March stance all the way to, I guess, as close to Naganath as possible. Like so. Unless we want to... Nah, no, we'll be fine. I was about to say, unless we want to get some more units in here, but we'll be okay. We can get these next turn as needed, and I'd like to be able to hit Naganath with Grimgor next turn without having to waste the turn. The rest of this stuff, let's get Arcane Conduit, which we were heading towards for that extra replenishment of mana, or the channeling. Soul Blight, I want maxed out because I do love the spell, and we'll get Spirit Leech. Nah, use Spirit Leech more, let's get Spirit Leech. And then we'll get Soul Blight after. And then the Goblin Big Boss, though I am still unsure whether you're going to stay in this army for much longer. Probably not, despite the relatively decent use for Scavenge. We'll keep you around for now. Alright, rest of that looks good to me. Let's do some building, and let's head on to destroy Malice's faction. We don't need to upgrade the boss's tent in this particular settlement. Ness, so let's keep the spider building for now, because we might build some more spiders for Spite Bloodreaper's army. Is there anything else we could get here? I suppose we could build a Raiden stashes. We do want those everywhere after all. Plane of Battles. Okay, we are going to ignore the Lost Valley and the Plane of Battles for now, mostly because there's a decent likelihood that they'll get attacked and taken over by the lizards, and I don't want to invest in something that'll be gone. Alrighty, I believe that's all we gotta do, so let's skip, and end the turn and head towards Naganath. Go. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. And that's not Malice, is it? No, it looks like somebody else. Good, good, good. Better for us, certainly. Now, we may have to waste a turn of sorts anyway, because we'll probably have to besiege Naganath and wait for them to sally out. I do imagine that they will. The Savage Blow, charge bonus for all factions. Okay, that's not horrible for the Greenskins. You, sir. Wait, Grimgor. Oh, Grimgor can reach it himself now. Fantastic. I was gonna have this guy do it, but now that that extra movement range has come in handy, it certainly has come in handy. Alright, let's hit Naganath. We're not waiting the 2 turns for it to upgrade to the next tier. Grimgor be a busy orc after all. Oh, there's actually not that much here. Maybe just auto-resolve this. Frankly, the battle that we fought at Ness would be much more difficult than what we have at Naganath. And I'd rather switch to the factions that are still alive, like Yuanbo and the Lizards, the Defenders of the Great Plan. Yeah, I think we'll just auto-resolve this. No need to waste our time with this garbage. Auto-resolve. Wait. Yeah, I was just checking that none of the units in the second army were gonna die. Occupy the place. Lovely, and with that, Malice should be gone. Spite Blood Reaper got himself a Sword of Battle. The Rusty Errors are now available. Quite a nice unit, as they do provide armor sundering. And Death Creepers, Forest Goblin Spider Riders, and the Warlord's Boys Night Goblins. Our Gobbo army will soon be on the field. We'll just need to pick up a proper lord, a more proper lord to command them, depending on how we want to do it exactly. And we'll need to be able to build Night Goblins as well, which means we're going to need a higher tier... Wait, it's the same building as Biggins, which means we can technically build them from here already. Maybe we could get a temporary Recruiter Lord and transfer some stuff to Spite. And we could do Night Goblins and Squigs, for example, and then transfer all the Spider units to the Spider Lord once the Spider Lord is up and running, but I digress. For now, let's build you a couple more Forest Goblin Spider Rider Archers to do a little bit of skirmishing. Maybe 4. I'm wondering whether we need the regular Spider... They're still going to be too weak, that's the thing. I say we keep it to the skirmishy Spider Rider Archers and leave the regular Spider Riders out of it. And they're never going to be strong enough to use them in that manner anyway. And then we'll get the Death Creepers as well, which will be fairly spider-heavy for this army, but, you know, that'll be fine. Alright, and that's decided. Let us then... We can recruit the Night Goblin... Oh, you know what? Let's wait until we tech up to Fanatics, then. To Tier 4. We were building a Tier 4 upgrade here at Newland, and I believe we have one at the Great Ohm, so we could build one here if we wanted to. And we already have the Raiden stashes. And while there are other Tier 4 things that might be nice, like the Goblin Workshop for the Doom Divers, and we'll probably have to build the Goblin Workshop anyway. But I feel like we build the Black Orc Barracks, plus we're gonna need a lot of Black Orc capacity. And oh, Night Goblin Fanatics need capacity as well, damn. I didn't think that you'd need capacity of any kind for Gobbos, but oh well, not a big deal. We'll do that, and then we can forego the Boar Boys for now, I think. Same probably with the Shaman's Hut, at least for now. Probably should get some Snotling Pump Wagons in the Gobbo army as well. Which probably will mean the Workshop. Public Order is relatively okay in the Great Ohm. It's not great, though. The Ohm may be great, but the Public Order ain't. But we do want to get a workshop at least somewhere. Yeah, fine, just build it. Oh, actually, I just realized something. This needs to be a Tier 4, and we have the Beast Layers here. Which means we'll definitely want the Boar Boy building in this territory. If nothing else. Oh, also, I did want to delete this building as it no longer serves a purpose for us. Oh, actually, it still gives us Fanatic capacity, and we may want to get some Fanatics in the army. At least one Night Goblin Fanatic army. Yeah, alright, fine. Workshop it is, workshop it is. We'll retool some stuff later. Okay, you're good, Lost Road, Naganath. Let's immediately upgrade that port. Let's immediately get the, I guess, raiding dash thing for money, and I think we have no choice but to build the boss's tent, or else the Public Order is eventually going to screw us over, as it has a tendency to do. Could screw up our Public Order with the Raiden camp to heal you up, but at the same time, it's probably not super necessary. I think we're good. Skip, 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 skip. And then we'll decide where we go next, as in the lizards or the flying lizards. As in the dragons. If only we could get one of their armies in sight. And sort of ambush it. Well, not really ambush per se, but attack it. And that would completely decide as to where we go and who we attack. I guess we'll have to wait a turn. I guess we can also check which of the factions is weaker, and I guess attack the... Actually, that's an interesting question. Do we attack the weaker or the stronger faction? Less eaten, more building, now being researched for that control. We could try to grab the remnants of battle here if we're gonna move anyway. I mean, there's an island right there. How are we for strength? Ooh, looks like the last defenders... Right, you're not the last defenders. Defenders of the Great Plant are looking fairly good. The Jade Court appears to be weaker, meaning... And we could try to turn upon the Jade Court. Oh, they're not fighting anybody else anymore, are they? Also, quick deal with... Nah, I was wondering whether Hag-Grief would peace out. Alright, fine. And then we turn towards the Jade Court. So, Grimgor, I'm gonna have you move to the island real quick. Auto-resolve that, then head southward towards the Giant Causeway. Oh, let's get another Arabian Arms. Heavy Iron, very nice. Alright, that'll make us a lot more deadly. We'll move into March Stance, go here. And then Spite Blood Reaper. You, sir, can go right to the edge of this territory as well. And let's hope that you don't get immediately attacked. And I guess if you do, you die. No, Yuanbo's right there. I changed my mind. What's the likelihood that he declares war and immediately attacks you? You know what? He might. I'm going to move you towards Naganath so that we can use them as reinforcements if it is to happen. I think there's a decent likelihood that Yuanbo knows what's coming. Alright, let's build buildings and let's move. The Lost Road, nothing needed new here. We'll keep these things because they'll probably get destroyed, and I believe that's it. We'll also need to send Grimgor for a quest mission this episode, which we'll do in a little bit. Building upgrade available, that's fine. Let's end the turn. Just gotta make sure that that recruitment building gets completed. And I forgot where we were building it. It wasn't in Newland, it was in... Where the heck did I start building it? Oh, it was here in the Great Ohm. I might delete it later as well, depending on how our money situation is looking, but that'll be later in turn. Alright, get ready. Let's see if Yuanbo decides to preemptively attack us or not. I'm really quite wary of those Jade Warriors that we'll be having to deal with, as we just don't have enough armor piercing to easily be able to overcome their heavy armor. At least not with the regular Orc boys, though we do now have those 4 units of Biggins who are gonna hit a little bit harder. Constructor for Spite, and can we reach... We cannot reach. Okay, so, you, sir, are going to go into raiding camp. You're going to go right here at the edge of this territory. Actually, he doesn't have a lot of Jade Warriors. We should, in theory, be able to handle it. Oh, there's a lot of defenders at the Giant's Causeway. But if we break these two, we basically break the faction. So I think we'll be okay. Blood Reaper, Spite. You're gonna stay here. I don't think we need to recruit anything else. Assuming we recruit the Lava Spider Rider Archers and the Death Creepers. And possibly the Logie Bogie Sport. Yeah, we could just recruit the Goblins here and then this army will be maxed out. Alright, speaking of Goblin maxing, let's get you not Tunnel Boss, but better Night Sneaking to buff up all Goblins. Ignore the Squigs for now. And I guess we will go for Dagobos. Though once again, I feel like we need to replace this lord with a better lord with a better stat, but we just don't have one yet. I am tempted by Shroom Grower, though. I might do that for the upkeep reduction. Not that night goblins are expensive in the first place, but squigs, especially colossal squigs, can be fairly expensive, so... And there's certainly that to consider. Anyway, building time again. Let's keep upgrading you, Brawling Grounds, then... Oh, I wonder how close this place was to Tier 5. Honestly, not that close. We can upgrade another place to Tier 5. It doesn't have to be this one. Lost Road is nearing upgrade to Tier 4. Naganath, might as well upgrade that boss's shack. Alright, and I guess we don't need the Gloomy Hollows here anymore, so we'll get rid of them. And Plain of Battles we'll ignore, and then Bleakmoor we'll ignore as well. Aha! Where are you going, sir, with your massive pile of Saurus? I do wonder. I guess we'll find out. Hopefully he doesn't attack us just as we attack, as to be fair, that would be the smart thing to do.
My path.
Alright, let's end the turn. Skip, 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 and then let's see if Yuanbo stays there. I'm sure that he doesn't like us raiding. I guess one issue is if he does attack us here, I didn't get a few points assigned. Just like last episode, I guess I don't learn from my mistakes. Alright, the lizards haven't attacked us, and the dragon has also not, I don't think... Yeah, he's already moved. Fantastic. Alright, so let's do this. First of all, fight. You get the Warlords boys and the Rusty Errors. Let's also get you the Death Creepers. And, well, frankly, I'm probably going to put Squigs in this army, but for now, get you the Logie Bogies, Spore Splotus, Pump Wagons, and the Lava Spider Rider Archers. This will completely cripple our income. But what are you going to do? And this will be a very quick reinforcing army, and thus we will use it as a reinforcing army. We're going to pop you into... Does raiding camps... Well, it gives us charge bonus. Alright, fine. Go into raiding camp stance. Go right here. Right here. Grimgor. We're going to level you up, and then we're going to strike. You, sir, have hurry up. What do we get you now? I guess we could get you another point in vitamin shrooms. You're going to have a little bit of a tough time fighting Yuanbo, I'm sure. And we should start making you a bigger fighter. As in on a personal level. Yeah, alright, that's fine. Vitamin shrooms it is. And next up, you, sir, Scram. Let's get you boss of the field to get the buffs for the orc units, the vigor loss reduction. Next up, you. We are going to need plenty of spells here, Foot of Gork, and here we go. Both very much usable in these situations. We'll need the armor piercing of Foot of Gork, I think, especially considering our melee attack is already pretty high, so here we go is more of a win harder button for the orcs, at least from a stats perspective. You... Hollerin' charge bonus for Lord's Army, eh? That's not horrible. Melee damage for all goblins, squigs, artillery, and spiders units. Yeah, well, that's why you're going to be in the goblin army. Yeah, looks like the goblin big bosses do quite a bit in the way of buffing the various goblin units. So we can put like 4 of them in an army of gobos and massively buff them. I do like the idea. It's irrelevant to us right now, but it won't always be. Stalker, Dodgy Geezer, Ambusher. Nah, let's try to get to they needs. Stabbing. Counter-Striker. Alright, looks good to me. Let's pop you into begin stance. Let us see if you're at war with anybody now. You are not. And let us strike. Away we go towards Yuanbo. He's going to sally. Yes, he will fight on the field. We got 2 armies. He's got 2 armies. A big ol' epic fight against Yuanbo. And if we can win here, I'm sure his faction will be pretty much done. Away we go. Alrighty, here we go. We've got our Black Orcs in the lead with Grimgor and our 4 units of biggins. Let's hope that they're enough, as there are 2 full stacks arrayed against us. And, ooh, a Shem's Burning Gaze coming in and dropping, damn, about a third of the HP off our Black Orc Big Boss. Gotta watch out for that, Yuanbo. That was a much harder hit than I was expecting, but I guess every single one of the missiles did manage to hit. Buffs to homing that we got relatively recently working for him. Alright, well, there were 2 ways to try to do this. First of all, we do have our reinforcements coming in, and the enemy does as well, so we could have arrayed ourselves out here and bombarded the enemy with our unit of Doomdiver catapults, as the enemy does not have anything in the way of artillery. However, a single unit of artillery I felt was not enough to do damage to the enemy army, and considering that the enemy army had mostly range, or at least much more range, than they could hold hold in terms of the ability to hold back our lines of infantry, I figured we'd be better off trying to annihilate this army before the reinforcements arrive, as in the reinforcing stack and a little bit more. Well, let's see if it works out for us, and whether we can do enough damage to make this worth our time. Away we go. Biggins hit for 76 weapon strength right now, which is pretty darn nice. And they've got 105 armor, which is pretty darn heavy. And they're not Black Orcs, perhaps, but their armor... Damn, 170 armor on the Black Orcs. They're way to the point of diminishing returns, but not a bad thing, I guess. Not going to complain about extra armor, and besides, this is from that heavy armor buff that we're getting from the sea. And then we have the bolstered armor buff as well. Anyway, we are making it in. The first of the enemy Jade Warriors get absolutely crushed by getting charged by the Black Orcs, but that is unsurprising as it is a horrifically bad matchup for the Jade Warriors. It's the armor-piercing lack on the regular Orc Warriors that's going to be the problem. The Biggins do have 49 armor-piercing, which is quite nasty. And as I was saying at the start, this is why we wanted to move in immediately. All of these units of range crossbows, whether they be peasant or Jade Warriors, are now going to have to contend with the Orc boys, who may be relatively weak, or generally not even relatively weak, but they should be strong enough to deal with a few range units. And of course our relatively limited number of cab running around in the background annoying the enemy range as well, preventing them from firing. And Grimgor does go in and try to get a few hits on Yuanbo, but unfortunately he does get surrounded by Jade Warriors as well as Yuan and drops down to about half HP. We're going to send in the River Troll Hag to help Grimgor out as Grimgor backs away a little bit in the hopes of recovering and dishing out some damage where he won't get killed. Really going to need to start putting more points into his fightiness capabilities. And now that we have all of his upgrades for his unique line, that is definitely next on the agenda. Alright, more Jade Warriors making their way into the fray. I do love them as a very cheap and very effective unit like Dwarf Warriors, and a healthy respect for their capabilities. But there's just not enough of them to hold back the Orc tide. And it does look like Yuanbo's army is by and large destroyed, though the reinforcements are here in both ours and theirs. Now, we do have the Sky Lantern on the field. They're not going to do a crazy amount of damage, but this is probably an ideal situation for them. They're not being focused by too much, and they're able to fire essentially in 3 directions. We also have massive piles of Spider Riders on the field. They don't do too much damage, but they should be able to annoy Peasant Horsemen without too much trouble. It is Light Cav versus Light Cav after all. Now, if these were Jade Lancers, which I do see coming in the background, this would be a lot more problematic, but we can knock out the Peasant Horses and try to back away from the Jade Lancers and allow our newly arrived Orc Boys and Gabo Spears to take that. Oh, look at all our different types of Spider Riders. Can't wait to get our Spider army on the field. It's definitely going to be one of our earlier armies, as other than the Arachnaroks, the rest of the units are fairly easy to acquire. And there we go, the Jade Lancers have arrived. Let's hope that the Warlord's boys and Night Goblins can hold them off. They do apply that armor piercing, which should make the Spider Riders and deal a little bit more damage, as they do really lack armor piercing. In fact, let's just see here, missile strength is at 1 armor, oh that's the Goblin Archers, they also lack armor piercing, and 3 armor piercing on the Forest Gabo Spider Riders. Quite problematic. Ooh, some nice hits from those Doom Divers into one of the Sky Lanterns, doesn't get brought down, but the unit itself is overall below half HP. And the Doom Divers are pretty good at sniping enemy artillery pieces and entities like those Sky Lanterns, so I think that they should come in handy there. Yuanbo completely surrounded by regular Orc boys. They're just distracting him at this point so that he doesn't kill anything else while we complete the destruction of his army. We can see in the background all of the range units being chased off, whether it be by boys or by the by our units of Cav. There's the Moonhowler's Goblins, while our Biggins are moving back into the fray to join the attack on the second reinforcing army. Back to it. Grimgor will hopefully make his way closer as well. Unfortunately, he is a little bit slow. as a lord, so he's going to take some time to get into position. I'm really enjoying this particular battle. We've got a pretty big battlefield with lots of little individual fights going on, lots of skirmishes, essentially 2 stacks facing off against each other in different parts of the map. Not quite what I wanted, as I wanted our 2 armies to link up before the enemy reinforcements got here, but it didn't quite work out that way. Anyway, Grimgor's WAAAGH activates, and it looks like it does indeed activate for every single unit on the field, and that includes our reinforcing units, which is certainly going to help, and the Orc boys and Gobos that are holding off the Jade Warriors are certainly going to need it, as they don't have the Black Orcs or the Biggins to dish out that armor piercing for them. Alright, looks like the enemy Sky Lanterns are down to 2 in the background and are backing off. The balance power is about 70% in our favor. We've also moved the Logie Bogie Spore Splodas in to annoy the enemy, mostly the enemy Jade Warrior crossbows, just to prevent them from firing. Alright, you keep annoying them. The Snotling Pump Wagons can be fairly effective, so I'm excited to get at least a decent amount of use out of them in the early to mid-game. And before they're replaced by Boar Boys of various kinds, and possibly some chariots. Alright, as in the War Boar chariots. Anyway, looks like the enemy failed to breach the lines of the relatively limited melee units that we had in the Second Army, and our Biggins have arrived from Grimgor's army to reinforce. Get a few more shots of those Doom Divers into the enemy there. But now that we have the heavy hitters on the field, the Jade Warriors shouldn't stand too much of a chance. Over in the background, it looks like Yuanbo has been surrounded by the Giant River Troll Hag, the Orc Boys, and Grimgor finally moving back into the fray, and we've depleted his HP. Looks like he didn't transform this time around, huh? Interesting, but a terrible, terrible idea. In fact, we might be able to destroy his faction before he ever gets the chance to transform. I do have to wonder under what situations the AI is programmed to use the transformation ability of the dragons. I've definitely seen some fights where the dragons just plain don't transform, like this one. And then some fights where they transform basically immediately. I wonder if it's also different between the various different lords. Anyway, it looks like most of the Jade Warriors, crossbow or otherwise, are running, and the Spider Riders are running them down, and it looks like with that, the rest of the army will shatter. Nice and appropriate to see these Spider Riders moving in through the forests as well. They move real quick with all that skittering type of movement that they do. Alright, well, there's going to be some units to chase off, but we'll do that off screen as it's going to take a while. And we're going to try to get Yuanbo down to like, I don't know, like 200 HP, but not actually kill him in the hopes of getting his defeat trait to the Second Lord, if it's possible. Let's find out. Alrighty, very nice. Now that felt like a proper WAAAGH. We had all of the reinforcing gobos really help out and come in huge numbers. Kill-wise, as we can see, it looks like the Orcs and specifically the Biggins got plenty of damage. 22k damage, 20k damage, 16k damage, and 12k. I don't know what you were doing. And 45, nearly 46k on our first unit of Black Orcs. Very, very nice. All quite effective. Now, we could lose some fightiness and gain ourselves 2.5k more money. We will be spending a lot of money soon, or we could heal up and guarantee the auto-resolve. I don't know. I feel like we might be able to auto-resolve anyway, but on the other hand, maybe something will be so heavily damaged. And again, there's nothing really here that the auto-resolve would be likely to kill that we wouldn't be able to lose, let's say. I'm inclined to take the money. Although the fightiness loss is a little bit of a shame as well. Would be nice if we didn't constantly keep below the appropriate levels. Yeah, you know what, fine, just eat the captives. At least it'll guarantee our healing and we won't lose all the fightiness. Now, Yuanbo will back off. I want to see what his defeat rate is. Wins a magic cost -10 for Lord's army, and it's not that much. I should have just killed him off. I was hoping for something nicer than that, but oh well. We got ourselves another pit boss, which is fine. Grimgor, I don't believe you'll be able to catch the guy, and I don't think Spite will be able to either, but I guess we'll find out in a second. I guess the question is, who do we attack the Giant's Causeway with? Well, if we want to get the defeat rate, we got it on Grimgor already. It's not one that I care that much about, so not a big deal either way. Alright, I think, Grimgor, you're gonna take the Giant's Causeway. We'll see if Spite can grab it or not. Ought to resolve this, and yeah, nobody will die. And we will occupy. Like so. And then Mr. Spite... Hey! Backstab, a post-battle chance of stealing an enemy item. Stealing a magic item. Nice, we'll put that on Grimgor rather than you, sir. I'll give you a pit boss, though. Where is that? Backstabber, yes to backstabber, and then you can have the pit boss, though, once again. I was gonna delete you, but you're rank 8 now. And you can, in fact, reach Yuanbo. Fantastic. In fact, you can reach him in WAAAGH Begins stance, so more XP while you're at it. Good. Some nice work for the Spider Riders, and you've got yourself a defeat rate. Alright, and we will... 2,000 gold for that ain't too bad. And we get the extra growth for all provinces. You know what, I think for this one we'll get the control for all provinces. We really need it. And there we go. I do wish that we had been able to get Malice's defeat rate twice like that, but oh well. You can also go into and camp right here in the enemy territory and make a little bit of cash for us. Will you be able to take Tower of Lenog with an auto resolve? You probably not. Grimgor probably yes. Meaning we'll probably send Spite to Sherweald. No, Grimgor is needed there. Beast Peaks, okay, you could take Beast Peaks then. Alright, that all worked out reasonably nicely. Let's see what we got in terms of building. Giant's Causeway, let's get that gold mine up and running immediately. Not 100%. Let's see, taking mines from the stunties gets their beards in a real twist, especially when the boys nick all the shiny rocks in them as well. Yeah, because I was wondering, what the heck do orcs care about gold? They probably don't, but the fact that this pisses off dwarfs is probably well enough for them. Now, we're obviously going to have to get the Horde building here for more money, and I guess we're going to have to max that out with a raiding stashes. This is going to be a money-making province. And just by virtue of there's a port and a gold mine, so yeah, I just need to counterbalance it with a decent amount of control. This is all fine. Kness, I wonder, can we ask you to join the war against the Jade Court? No. Would have been nice, but oh well. Well, let's get back to building then. And then, Trogland, you're ready for a tier up. Very, very nice. We can certainly afford it. Kness, we got that Raiden stashes, and I guess... I mean, technically we want more money, but at the same time, we can probably go back into the growth as well. We could also do the Captives Pit in several places, which will counteract some of the need for control, but I'm a little bit concerned about the Diplo relations with all factions except Greenskins. The issue is there are some factions who I would like to ally with just to borrow a few of their units, so maybe not yet. Man, it would be really funny if we were somehow able to ally with the Chaos Dwarfs. I somehow doubt it, but who knows. Anyway, there's nothing to be built here, at least nothing important, and the rest of you are fine. Skip, 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 skip. And I'm sure there's level ups to do, but we can do that later as well. Go. Go next turn. And we should start up on that. Oh yeah, he wants peace now, eh? Peace treaty, no. See, if he didn't hate us as much as he does, I might have pieced out with him, but it's pretty much guaranteed that he'd eventually turn on us if we left him alive here. Which is the whole problem. Now, we'd have to give him something really expensive for him to like us enough, and that just ain't gonna happen. Yeah, we got defenses in both places. Spite will not be able to defeat these guys by himself. His spider riders are just too weak, so yeah, we're gonna have Grimgor do it. In which case, Spite, you're going to march stance your way all the way out here to Beast Peaks. We're going to have Grimgor take the Tower of Lenog. Should be auto-resolvable as well. I would imagine so anyway. There's not that much there. At least compared to what we fought, yeah, it's not even a... it's like a 3/4 stack, maybe? Yeah, auto-resolve. 75% stack, occupy. Alright, and we got it at tier 2, and we've hit our level 18, nice. Attrition reduction from all attrition, nice if we go and fight chaos. Missile resistance for all units, nice. Vigor loss reduction, nice. Melee attack for all... oh, yeah, well, obviously. I mean, on the other hand, this just continues spamming melee attack for everybody, but it is for all units. I am sorely tempted by the attrition reduction, however, because orcs have access to the raiding camp stance, they're basically not going to suffer attrition most of the time. Missile resistance is quite nice too, though. And obviously the vigor loss reduction as well. I'm gonna say boss's share, what you looking at? Yeah. Go for it. And the Swamp Things, River Trolls are available. That's nice. We can put that into Grimgor's army, in fact. Anyway, Tower of Lenog. Let's upgrade you. Let's get you that Camp Ruckus for control and growth. And I guess while we're building, we gotta build everywhere. Lost Road, Newland, you are ready to go for the next thing. You have a boss's pole, but you lack in a boss's camp. Alright, so we'll have to get you one, so that we can delete the boss's tent here. It's going to be necessary. Then, let's start building one of these towers. We want to build the Uber Mega Tower, I think? Wait. Unlocks technologies, I'm the boss. Which one is that? So that is this one. Control unknown armies when unknown provinces when an army is present. Because it's a free +2 control if we put a single orc everywhere. Or a single gobbo everywhere. It'll count as an army, right? Is there anything here that we really, really want? 25% Diplo with Greenskins. It's not too bad. Nothing crazy. I mean, nothing crazy for now. And plus we need scrap for it, so... we're saving scrap now, but it'll all be gone just like that. I think we're still gonna go Gobbo City here. And the tier 5 will at least give us faction-wide construction cost reduction. Not that orcs have crazy expensive construction cost reduction, mind you, but nonetheless. Anyway, I believe that is that for you. Alchemists, get that totem pole for more growth, and skip through more turns and end the turn. Wait, how's that recruitment thing going? Well, let's get in there. Next turn we'll be able to upgrade them a little bit more. At the cost of some control, though. Yikes, alright, end turn. Oh, we should also send a sea army to gather potential islands and stuff somewhere. Just gotta figure out what kind of units we'll put in there. Swamp trolls, or river trolls rather, are aquatic unless I'm mistaken, so they'd be a decent option for it, as we're liable to encounter more aquatic territories in sea battles. And draining winds, growth -20 all provinces. Oh, this all hurts tremendously, but we do want to be rewarded, and there we go. And we do have the mission for the Prophet up and running right now. That control +5 for 20 turns alone is so nice. Killed 10,000 enemies in battle. Well, we'll get to it. Grimgor, move past the Giant's Causeway. Or, in fact, no. No, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna move you out here, out of the territory. We're gonna have you fight the battle for Gitsnik. And then, also, what do we get here? No, just the squigs. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, okay, let's do this. 1 second. Figure this out in a moment. You cannot resolve this garbage. No need. And occupy the place. Like so, Beast Peaks is ours, another Idle Carva, a Great Cave Squig for Spite Blood Reaper, and the province is ours. Camp Ruckus. Might as well upgrade you while we're at it. And get you... can't get to tier 3 yet, so I guess we'll go for... Idols for the growth. I guess we could temporarily get the boss tent, but I'm disinclined to do so at the moment. Let's also get your Gobbo tents. I'm going to delete most of the Gobbo tents later on Albion once we built everything up. But obviously right now it's a decent investment. Let's, alright, you. Fighting pit for you, and we can't upgrade you because you know what, let's prioritize you. We want pump wagons, and we certainly want rock lobbas up and running as fast as possible. Lost Road, you are still okay as you are. Let's upgrade that gold mine and the horde. 4 more cash. And then, okay, you two are still not upgrading. Okay. If we could catch this lizard army out with Grimgor, it would be fantastic. Speaking of Grimgor, let's take a look at a few things. First of all, is there any items that we can... Oh, we got another warrior bane. I can go into the other item, though. Shrieking Blade and Sword of Battle. I think we'll keep the Shrieking Blade for now, for the Fear and Terror, but we'll delete it later. There's not enough stuff to be using there, and I should really give the Bad Moon Penance to you now. I honestly figured this army would have gotten destroyed by now and or deleted, so I wasn't giving it any banners, but for now you can hold on to those. Alright, Grimgor, let's level you up. Let's do ourselves a nice quest battle. We got Vitamin Shroom, so let's get you a Dead Ard. I can't believe... I don't see Ready for Stomping anywhere, which is unfortunate. Oh well. Then we'll go for Deadly Blade for you. He already has such high weapon strength. Frankly, he has such high melee attack. You know what? Maybe Scarred Veteran. Oh, he only has the 1 set of points in it? Nah, still Deadly Blade. Gotta make him fighty. More fighty. As if Grimgor wasn't fighty. Arm to the teeth for you, sir. You already have Boss of the Field. Then we can have you... You know what? Let's get Magical Reserve. Nah. Not gonna help right now. You know what, let's get Scouting. We have most of the magics that we use. I like Scouting. Giant River Troll Hag. Get you Evasion. I don't care for the Purple Sin of Zeraeus. Although we'll probably try it out. I've never had good luck with this particular spell. Frankly, I'd rather just repeatedly spam Soul Blight. And you know what? The aspect of the Dread Knight may actually be useful in the... in one of the Gobbo armies, so we may put one of you in the Gobbo army. It would make sense. And we can round out the Gobbos with a few troll units. Make them a harder line. Miscast chance reduction for you. Not that I'm inclined to overcast Spirit Leech, but anyway. Get your Counter Striker, get to the needs stabbing, and Grimgor's good, which means time to get Gitsnik. Alright. There we go. I'm gonna give this a quick read because I always enjoy reading these. Another orc war boss was said to have found a powerful axe and headed north in search of some Humies to try it out on. But the silly git met a powerful empire force at Blackfire Pass and was defeated. Presumably the magic chopper remains with his corpse. All indications are that the Yumis remain in the pass, preparing to march back up north, but they might be persuaded to stay long enough for Grimgor to have a crack at them. The Black Orc war boss orders his mob to march on the pass and to announce their approach by burning everything en route. The Yumi scum will have no choice but to stay and face a far deadlier threat than that pretender that now lies rotting in the pass. Teleport. Alright, we can certainly have... Oh, we got lots of artillery. A tank. Well, Grimgor can break the tank. A Luminarch. Okay, gotta watch out for that wrecking Grimgor. And a bunch of dwarf units. Man, the dwarfs would be pissed at that, at that accidental comparison. But nonetheless, we should be able to handle it. Away we go. Beyond Blackfire Pass stands the lush Yumi realms, ripe for stompin'. But first Grimgor must break through this army. The Yumis will be hard to shift, and there are rumors that they'll be getting stunty reinforcements. All things to consider, since Grimgor's force is all here with nothing left in reserve.
This is it, boys. Time to give this Emperor a right spanking. Me and the Immortals will lead from the front and seek out that poncy crown-wearing git riding his big pigeon. My axe, Gitsnik, is somewhere in that pass. A bag of teeth to the orc that finds it and hands it over. Any of you think you're gonna keep it instead, well, you'll find my boots so far up your ass, you'll be tasting squid leather until you die, which will be straight after. Anyway, let's give Gork a show. Get smashing! I want this pass filled with blood. I want the zoomies to remember my name for years and years. Remember Grimgor!
Alrighty, here we go. I think this might actually be the earliest I have ever done a quest battle in SFO. Once again, because I generally like to save the massive reward that you get for it, whether it be the... well, actually not because of the money so much as because of the casualty replenishment rate being massively increased for 2 turns and the huge amount of control. But we do need the control right now, as early game orc control has its issues, unless you build tons of boss tents, and, well, we'll counteract it. Anyway, we're going to run straight towards the enemy army. Grimgor will go for that steam tank, together with the help of the Black Orcs and the Black Orc Big Boss. All the Black Orcs essentially focusing on this one big old Tier 5 unit. Technically not the biggest threat on the field, however. That probably goes to the enemy Luminarch of Hysh, but we're going to overrun it as it is relatively weak in melee, due to that 11 melee defense, and it's relatively light armor as well. And just gotta prevent it from firing and knocking some of our stuff down. We do send some of our cav units in over to try to flank the enemy units and get rid of the enemy crossbows, but the reinforcing dwarf army arrives to block them off and immediately sends a pair of gyrocopters after our cavalry, so they're going to have to deal with that. On the bright side, the Imperial force without their dwarven allies is being absolutely overrun. The Luminarch of Hysh is distracted and unable to fire, and the enemy, let's see, Warrior Priest is getting pretty badly beat up by the River Troll Hag, with a little bit of help from the Orc Shaman, who's got 61 melee attack. Not too bad. I do like that about the Orky casters, in that they, well, they're not going to defeat a straight-up duelist lord or hero in a fight, but they can certainly defeat most enemy mages, and on top of that, they can do a decent amount of damage to support heroes. And there we go, the steam tank finally goes down under all those big axes. And Grimgor and the Black Orcs will return to the fray. Looks like the Luminarch is also moving out of there, and we're going to have to make sure that we chase it down so it doesn't come back and take a few pot shots at our elite infantry. Speaking of infantry, the enemies are just about done, or at least the Imperial infantry are just about done, and Gitsnik should be quite easy to recover from the corpse of that Pretender Orc. Or Pretender War Boss, I guess. Adbutt coming down right onto those enemies and doing pretty okay. Gotta love the fact that it doesn't damage your own units. And the enemy moves in some miners and dwarf warriors to help out. I always love the shots you get with enemies, or with units generally, fighting on hills like this. Let's make for some epic cinematic shots. And there we go, we've activated Grimgor's WAAAGH as well, so suddenly everybody gets quite strong. The orc boys start hitting almost as hard as Biggins, though without the armor piercing. And we are looking like we're absolutely overrunning the enemy. The infantry of the the Imperial infantry are done, and the dwarfs are soon to follow. Over in the background, the enemy's artillery pieces have also been overrun by our cav, and additional units of orc boys, and really, we're looking pretty darn good. The only thing that's annoying is these damn gyrocopters dropping bombs right into the middle of our blobs of units. I think the regular gyrocopter bombs... Oh, there's some nice shots, though. Damn. Alright. The game is very, very pretty, isn't it? Anyway, I don't think those are the monstrous impact types, are they? They're just the regular, yeah, they're the regular gyrocopter bombs, not the gyro bomber, real scary ones. And we try to hit a few of those gyrocopters with those doom divers, but end up hitting a few of our own units. And I think the Black Orcs, at least, are unlikely to get killed by those due to that banner of theirs. Alright, well, we have basically 2 units that can fire at gyrocopters, where one badly hurt unit of goblin wolf archers, which are badly hurt because the the gyrocopters attack them, and then the doom diver as well. And the enemy lord exchanges a couple blows with Grimgor over in the center, but gets, well, gets pretty badly wrecked. His stats are pretty nice though. 116 and 105 melee defense when he has harmonic convergence up is pretty darn insane. Even Grimgor is going to have a difficult time getting through all that melee attack, but it looks like the harmonic convergence came in just a little bit too late. With that, it looks like the rest of the enemy army is breaking, having been surrounded from every side by piles of orc boys. And now it's just a matter of forcing them all off field, or actually routing the gyrocopters. They're not unbreakable, but it looks like these two gyrocopters out here alone are willing to continue fighting despite the rest of their army being gone. Oh, I'm getting tic-tac-toe flashbacks here. What an annoying army. Alright, let's try to knock a few of those gyrocopters out today. I wonder if the AI is doing this on purpose. They're hovering over our biggest blob of units, and it's kind of forcing our Doom Divers, when they miss, to hit our infantry below. Alright, Doom Diver. Ooh, there we go. 4 straight hits to those gyrocopters. That wasn't too bad. Now we do have a Spirit Leech coming in from the Death Hag, at least. Death Hag. That's not a Death Hag, that's a River Troll Hag. Completely different type of hag, guys. And there we go, a couple hits into some of those biggins. And Gork's Gaze and, ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 1 hit and 5 missed. Alright, there's the magic missile I know. It launches 6, no, it launches 5 projectiles. Every single one missed. Oh, come on. Okay, it's Gaze of Mork. Does it really matter if it's Gaze of Mork or Gork? Some would say yes, some would say no. And it looks like one of the gyrocopters did make it out of there. Man, why is it tougher to bring down these gyrocopters than the rest of the enemy armies combined? Yeah, if the AI was to build an army which was basically nothing but gyrocopters and then cleverly hid a, I don't know, unit of, let's say, probably rangers, then we would have a very difficult time with Grimgor's army. I gotta keep that in mind, though. When thinking about the final form of his army, that some enemy units are liable to, or some enemy armies are liable to bring air forces like this that we just can't bring down, and you gotta be kidding me, the gyrocopter's returning again. Okay, finally it's broken. Let's make sure that it doesn't come back this time, and there we go. Without units on the ground, they will finally shatter. We were essentially having to wait until all of the Imperial forces and all of the Dwarf forces moved off the map so that the rest of those units would shatter. Anyway, a lovely little battle. Gitsnik is ours. I also like fighting in the Blackfire Pass areas. It always looks quite neat with those, I don't know, obsidian-like formations that we've got going all over the place. I'm sure the orcs appreciate all the spiky bits after all, though I'm not sure that they appreciate the big old dwarf statue. Anyway. Alright, after that, just a little bit, I feel like I understand how annoyed the AI must be when you use all Air Force units or all Air Force armies against it, because damn, it was difficult to bring those gyrocopters down with the limited stuff that we had, though entertaining, I'd like to think. Grimgor's gonna heal up in our own territory, so I think we're gonna take Slaughter Captives for the additional control bonus. Well, 2,000 gold is tempting, as we are about to recruit a ton of stuff. But then again, I'd rather not lose the fightiness right now, so let's just slaughter the captives, it's fine. And another backstabber. These will certainly come in handy, but not as handy as Gitsnik. Melee attack plus 10 enables magical attacks recruitment cost reduction, income from post-battle loot growth for all provinces, and the ability which even further increases melee attack and armor-piercing damage. Very, very nice. And of course we've got the casualty replenishment bonus and the control. And that is the main reason why we did the quest just now. Grimgor, we're gonna march stance up all the way to here. Into Sherweald Forest. I doubt it, but I do have to wonder whether if we get another Lord, we'd be able to have that Lord attack Sherweald and allow Grimgor to auto-resolve it. It might be nice. We do have a Serial Dancer Night Goblin Warboss here. There's that Shroom Groa, which I was going to replace Spite's army with, but now that he's level 9, it makes me not want to. I don't particularly like either of the Goblin Great Shaman bosses, though. Oh, also, wait. You don't have any reduction to recruitment, but I do have to wonder whether any of the other lords can reduce recruitment via any manner, but the only way to find out is to actually, well, recruit them, and it can be expensive. Nonetheless, I did want to get some bone clubbers for Grimgor, as well as a couple of other things, and we've got buildings to build. That was this turn. Okay, whoops. Let's go fighting pit for you, let's go nothing for you, and okay, it was only the one thing to build. Public order should be able to fix itself. Maybe we should just risk building these, otherwise they keep building up and nothing's happening. Well, either way. We are going to get another boss. Let's do the Shroom Groa, I guess. I don't feel like we need another Night Goblin war boss, but I'm not happy with any of the other units. To get a Squig army, we have to use a Night Goblin war boss, because he'd buff the Squigs much more than an Orc war boss would. The Orc war bosses don't really technically buff anything. At least not directly. In the way that the Gabo bosses do. If you work, you could at least leech some XP, in theory. On the other hand, once again, these things are cheap. And by these things, I mean... I know, fine. It's 1,000 gold, who cares? Let's put you here and let's see if you can attack Sure-Reeled Forest, allowing Grimgor to keep moving. I would also like to see if you can recruit anything here, and no, you cannot. The Swamp Things will follow shortly, and we'll recruit some stuff, I think, next turn. Start on the Bone Clubbers, maybe start on a couple of Trolls, paying attention to our money, but it should fix itself as we round out and complete Albion. Anyway, I believe that's ready for an end turn here, so skip, end turn. We'll quickly send Spite Blood Reaper out here, out to the northern places. I'm probably just going to keep him, and have him take out the weakest of the lizard settlements, while perhaps Grimgor can chase down this little lizard army. We'll see. It would be ideal. Alright, can you reach this? Yes, you can. Okay, so Grimgor, I would like you to go into regular go into raid camp stance right here. Not to get into this guy's way, though. And then you're going to attack Sure-Reeled Forest. I guess you can go... WAAAGH begins. Oh, wait, you know what? Grimgor, switch to WAAAGH begins as well. Then attack this. This will destroy the faction. Auto resolve. There's nothing there that's worth fighting compared to what we just fought. I'm a little bit tempted to sack it. Though on the other hand, you know what? This will be a good place to build all types of towers. And we can take it to tier 2. Maybe I should have sacked, I don't know, who cares. Idol Carver, we're good. Jade Court destroyed, alas for them. Don't collect income here as it's not worth our time. Keep the boss's tent, but otherwise... Casualty replenishment rate, control, construction time, recruitment duration. Yeah, so we can't make you a military hub. We can make you a capacity hub / faction-wide buff hub. So we're going to start with the Goblin Metropolis and then follow up with the Nomal Tower. Although your growth is going to be slow at this rate. I'm almost tempted to say we don't need the boss's tent. You know what? Delete the boss's tent for now. If we need one, we can replace it. I'd rather get as much growth here as possible. Which is gonna be one of these ones. Because we're gonna need it. I guess we'll still go for the idols. It does... Yeah, it does border 2 territories. Okay, it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it, guys. You, march stance, please. Move towards the Citadel of Lead. I don't think you'll be able to take that one, but a lonely Ogben all the way out here is very sparsely defended. We need Grimgor to take the Citadel, and he's just got Lord Croak up and running. Gonna be a little bit too late for that one. Grimgor, march stance. And, really? This is all cliffside. Oh, that's not good. Huh, I thought we'd be able to go out to sea a little bit faster than this. So, Amber is going to kill Admiral Leech. And then presumably he's going to go this way towards Naganath, or at least I think so. So we're going to move Grimgor that way, in the hopes that I'm correct. Whereas Ugg will go down here and act as a recruiter for a few turns, so we'll give him a route marcher and have him recruit some stuff. Alright, building, and oh wow, we are basically out of time here. Okay, now let's complete this one turn, just out of curiosity. We'll save the battle with the lizards for next time, I think, but otherwise... this is okay, the public order is fixing itself because of the Gitsnik quest, though only for one more turn. Let's just build these up, screw it. And I'm just gonna hope that it is a worthwhile investment in the sense that it does not get destroyed. Diplomacy. We have met basically no new factions, because nobody's sailed out here, but that works for us at least. For now. Alright, and the turn, skip, and go. And we'll probably pop a WAAAGH in a few seconds, and select one of these lizardmen locations. I hope that you can, because this isn't like a, this is like a weird little sub-faction, like Nakai's weird little minion sub-faction. This guy's still at sea, right? Is he still at sea, but just sort of sitting out there? Yeah. You can't land here, which is the weird thing. Negative growth, well, that's a shame. Alrighty, let's pop a WAAAGH. And Conquata will be our goal. Like so. And 52. Wow, this is not a... This is quite a weak faction, isn't it? Kill the Scales. Physical resistance faction wide. Recruit for all units. You're in Lord Recruit rank, but it doesn't say how much. So the issue with this is that the current trophy we have... Once a call to WAAAGH is made, a preview... Wait. We do get the +6 control out of this. These are all the same as well. I'm a little bit worried about losing control to gain control, essentially, but I think it's nonetheless worth it. I don't care about the reload time. Let's do Conquata. We have 20 turns to achieve this. And yeah, the buffs are actually quite meh, I would say, compared to the +2 control we got before, but it is what it is. We have now declared war, and I didn't realize that that would automatically do it. I thought that it would be self-sufficient. Well, self-sufficient is quite the right word, but I thought we'd be able to do that with that, but it's fine. You're going to head out here. You, Grimgor, are going to head here near to Naganath. We'll see where this guy shall go. Oh! He can go all this way. No, I think that's in March stance. It's got to be in March stance, right? There's no way he can go all the way to Grimgor here. At least I doubt it. Anyway, there's buildings to build and there's stuff to set up, but I think we are out of time, and I am instead going to call the episode here. Ooh, tier 5 building. Yes, nice. That'll mean Black Orcs are ready to go very, very soon. In fact, we'll be able to leave Albion over the next episode or two with Black Orcs and other elites. And glorious. Other than the money situation, but we're fixing it. We're working on it. It's getting there. And just need to fix the control, and the money situation will follow suit quickly. Yeah, anyway, we need to proceed to Troglin, Great Hogs, and Mugged Flats to get the Bone Clubbers from here and the Night Goblins from here. And then down to here to get the Tinkerer to recruit from there. Alright. We'll do that. Anyway, I'm going to call the episode here. Next time, we destroy the lizards, including this massive Saurus stack that we will have to be careful about, because they'll be definitely superior to our orc boys in a one-on-one. Otherwise, we will capture all of Albion, build up, recruit, and then sail out to begin the conquest of Norska, and probably the sacking, razing, and conquering of Bretonnia as well. Norska, we can actually maintain territory, and Bretonnia, I think we'll want to maintain just enough territory to get to Grom the Paunch, who's here, to confederate him, and we'll make a goal to confederate him and WAAAGH, who I think starts somewhere up here, as fast as possible. So they are our next targets, and let's see if we can't increase our empire size soon. Stay tuned for more Grimgor. Don't forget to leave a like and comment, especially to the threshold. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.